Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, bringing you week 5 of the H.A.M Radio Podcast. And what a fucking journey it was to get this one going. Man.
We've been trying for how many hours now? Let's say 3 hours to try and get this working.
100,000.
Yes. Internet podcast. Obviously, you know our two co-hosts.
Me, the LoneVaultWanderer.
I'm Noah.
Noah.
And this week, we have our first special guest, which is the project lead of the Fallout Lone Star mod, which is this huge mod. And we got like a 50-minute Q&A with him at the end of this podcast. So this is easily going to be our longest episode.
Note, it is pre-recorded. It is pre-recorded.
Yes, we do want to interject that because Lone Vault wasn't able to be present for, I'd say, half of it, quarter of it.
About a quarter of it.
And then, like, you know, he just hops in the Skype call and we kind of get going, and Lone Vault sounds very tired. Because
I woke up at 6 a.m. to join the call.
But one thing we want to cover really quickly, based off a lot of you guys give these awesome guest suggestions for the podcast. Like, for a good example is Alchest Breach. And we are taking all these members into account, but we want to invite them in at the correct time, where they don't just kind of circle around the same speculation. Like when something's happening in the Fallout community, that we can get an active discussion going with our guests, or special guests, we'll call them. That's when we want to invite these bigger names in. So we just want to let you guys know, we see your suggestions and we're taking them into account, but you know, we'll be doing special guests every few weeks because we still want to get the listeners in here. We want to talk to you guys personally as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, that is your intro. Let's move on to the news roundup for this week. So the biggest piece of Fallout news, really exciting shit too, is that there was a little update to the Fallout website on Bethsoft.com. This was found by a Reddit user, and apparently Bethesda updated the analytic tracking for Fallout site, but not the Elder Scrolls or Skyrim, whatever you want to call it specifically. The Reddit user claims to be a web developer, and based off what he said, I personally believe him because he seems to know his shit. He states that these types of things, these changes to analytics, like these updates, are usually done in preparation of a launch of a new website so that they can become formalized with this new code. Also, it's worth mentioning that recently Bethesda changed the website header image for Fallout from New Vegas to the original photo of the citizens entering the vault. So take that as you will. I feel that's kind of grabbing straws if that means anything. But this is kind of a big deal, this whole... We're going to update and kind of, quote, prepare for a new website launch on the Fallout side of things, but not Elder Scrolls. I find that a bit suspicious, if you ask me.
This is good. This is good. I view this as a good thing.
Noah's jizzing in the corner.
This gets me, this actually, like, for the first time, I don't want to say the first time, but for, like, this is one of those things that I see as, like, really being some solid evidence of a release.
That's what a lot of people were saying. This is like, okay, this is solid evidence. Like, a lot of people were thinking that the E3 conference announcement, oh, it's going to happen, bro. But, like, everyone's now saying, like, because the guy provided images as well.
Fallout.
Exactly. And it's Bethesda themselves, you know, it's them doing changes. Now, he said that it's very possible that they were just kind of getting current, he says in quotes, with technology or something along those lines. But if they were, why didn't they do the Elder Scrolls side of things? Yeah. That's what kind of confuses me.
He did message me personally on YouTube with an update to that. I'm not sure if you received that, Matty, but if you go...
he tweeted at me.
Yeah. So I'll tell you in short terms. He says... The Skyrim site is now sporting the updated code. It's actually still displaying the old code. Either I overlooked this or the code was added recently. And I think he was saying that the JavaScript I originally cited for the Skyrim site was removed sometime in the last 24 hours. So maybe Bethesda is really paying attention to Reddit. I have no fucking idea.
Well, that's the thing. That was one of the first Fallout 4 posts that's blown up on Reddit with some credibility in quite a while. I don't remember the last time for my channel specifically that I've hopped on Reddit for some like a Fallout update. It's been a really long time, especially something with credibility. We've seen like our fake Fallout Reddit posts of like, I'm a Bethesda employee and
I can confirm.
Todd Howard is my cousin.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I think a lot of people were excited. So I know that Bethesda gets 1,000,001 tweets about Fallout 4 every day, and I wouldn't be surprised if fans went to Bethesda with this Reddit post and asked Bethesda about it. So it's possible that they did find out about it, but I feel like it's very well possible that they were just updating things. But it just seems like the timing, like they do things at the wrong time all the time, like these little things, always at the wrong time. I hate it.
I bet Pete is just sitting there in his mansion with his like with a golden eating cereal out of a golden bowl with his golden spoon.
Stroking
their
his
Cheerios. They're Cheerios. That's a golden cat. Yeah, they're Cheerios specifically, and he's just laughing because nothing is gonna happen.
He's got like a monocle. He's got this like.
He looks like the Penguin, only Pete Hines. Yeah.
I bet you that's exactly how he does things. Let's be honest.
Do we have any thoughts on this whole website header change, though, from New Vegas to what Bethesda's Fallout concept art was? Do you think this means anything, or you think we're just like kind of just reaching now?
For me, that's interesting to see, like, because they wouldn't just do that. They wouldn't just be like, well, let's just switch the images over. You know, they're gonna want to put kind of like a stock image up right now.
A placeholder almost right now.
Sort of. You know, now the argument to that could be, well, it's just a picture. Probably it's probably pretty easy to switch. So why not just wait until
something happens?
Yeah, and then just switch to the new picture. You know, why have a placeholder? Now, you know, that's a very valid argument. Maybe that is the new picture, and it's a lot of iffy things, but it's still very directed towards Fallout to make it seem curious.
I mean, it was the first change in 5 years. Did you say something like that's ridiculous? I mean, why would they need to change things after 5 years if they weren't anticipating something else?
Here's my theory. It's analytic tracking, as in numbers. My guess here is that they're preparing for a large amount of traffic on the Bethesda website in general. Now, since you're saying Lone Vault, I wasn't aware of this, that they did update the Elder Scrolls side of things as well. Maybe they're just getting ready for an entire onslaught of traffic because they're going to be going on Bethesda's website. They're going to want to track these numbers. Who knows?
A picture change.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, you know.
Well, this is what I thought about the updates, though. The fact is, if you had these two websites, Fallout and Skyrim, and let's say they were just updating, why did they update Fallout first? Why wasn't the Elder Scrolls, which is the more popular game at the moment, the more recent game?
Especially with the more recent mod update that like a lot of people are looking into. Not to
like, why wouldn't they work on that website first before going to Fallout? It seems like they're anticipating a bunch of traffic for Fallout now, so it seems to me that they are preparing for Fallout 4. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, here's my bold prediction here. What if we've discussed this briefly on this podcast, like, you know, that Bethesda could hand off their IP to someone else, even though we don't see them doing that. Maybe they're anticipating a lot of traffic to both Elder Scrolls and Fallout because there's going to be, you know, 2 announcements. I don't know. Like I said, that's my bold, like, you know, why the fuck not just say that just to be safe, you know. It is a podcast. We could discuss amongst crazy shit like this.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if they're gonna update the picture and the analytical side of things, you know, they're gonna be expecting, even let's say it is a Fallout announcement, you know, you're still gonna get traffic even to the Elder Scrolls stuff. You know, whether it be people misclicking or something like that. You know,
that's what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah, so they're still kind of trying to just keep everything in line, you know, and just kind of make sure everything's solid. You know.
Yeah, overall, I think it's just preparation for more traffic, which is signifying something. Yes, makes you think, you know, why are you preparing? You know, they obviously have their monthly sales, these new T-shirts of the month.
I was just about to say that. I was gonna be like, their new fucking traffic is gonna be because of new T-shirts. That's
every time I see a T-shirt post.
Yeah, there was this one time, there was this big Fallout 4 hoax that like grabbed the internet's attention. Like IGN was covering, I forgot what it was, but IGN was covering, GameSpot was covering it. Like everyone was talking about Fallout 4. Bethesda stomped this thing out and then had a sale on the Fallout site 15 minutes later. They're like, yeah, we're having a winter sale. I'm like, fuck you guys.
Probably did that as like an apology or something.
They're taking advantage of the traffic. That's exactly what
I was saying. That's exactly what they did. They were like, all right, let's make some money. Like, it's such bullshit. I saw that. I just shook my head. I was like, no.
As Pete strokes his cat.
Yeah.
I will be back in 1 second, but continue talking.
Oh, right, Noah's just leaving us in the middle of the podcast. That's great.
Naturally, Noah. More hate for Noah. But now that we got this whole discussion about the website out of the way, we got some other Bethesda news to focus on. Dishonored 2. Holy crap. I hope this is a thing. So it's been recently revealed in advance. Usually the PS Plus games are revealed like a few days before the first Tuesday of each month. And it's already been pre-revealed by accident that Dishonored will be one of the free PS3 games this month, which is exciting. I love Dishonored. That Lone Vault. I know you're playing Dishonored currently. Now, a lot of people are getting caught up in this excitement and saying that a lot of the times, not a lot of times, sometimes when a PS Plus game, no, you're right. When a PS Plus game is announced, that usually it could be put out there for as many people to get into it as possible so that they can be caught up for a sequel. The same thing could be said for HD collections where they want to catch up the entire fan base on what's happened in the story so far if they missed this game, so that when the sequel comes out, they're like, all right, good thing I played that game, or, oh, wait, let me go play that game right now. Yeah, so what are your thoughts? Do you think, I mean, we've kind of briefly discussed Dishonored 2 in general, but do you think this is signifying anything, or are we once again just, reaching out there for no reason whatsoever? Entirely possible.
Fucking Bethesda fans reading into everything too much. But no, I think it does mean something. Based off of that.
Fucking asshole.
No, I think it might mean something. The fact is, Dishonored is a really old game. Putting it on the as a what would you call it? Free trial. It's the PlayStation Store
PS
free trial.
Plus. Yeah.
PS Plus is a free trial.
I just spit. Hold on, I gotta stop everyone. I just spit everywhere. When I said PS Plus, it literally just went all over my wall, on my computer screen. Pardon me, screen. All right, keep going.
Just wipe that off.
Oh, it's on my face. Oh my god.
All I can think about is spit now. This is just fantastic.
Follow self. Like, anyways.
Brazzers. No, but
I remember the one time I started a video, I went to do a quick pre-recording of a video, and I just drooled in the middle of my commentary, and I just left it in the video anyways.
I was talking, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell this, because otherwise I'm going to forget. I was talking to a really cute girl in math class one time in high school, and I had gum, and my gum fell out of my mouth.
Oh, no.
Right in front of her, and I was like, I'm sorry. Anyways,
did you ever talk to this girl again? That's the real question.
Nope, not at all. Got her number, but never talked to her again.
All right, what were we talking about?
Dishonored 2. Yeah.
Okay,
PS
it makes
Plus.
sense. It makes sense to have it as a free trial so people try the game, and then when you have it eventually released, you have more of a chance to get a bigger audience, because usually with sequels, the fans that you get to purchase the game are those that have played the original game, especially if the stories are really tied with each other. So it does make sense.
That is a good point.
Do you have an opinion, Noah? Or you were gone for that time?
No, I don't have one. No. I kind of just agree with what you're saying. It is a good point. To get, if they want to get the word out about the game, if they are going to make some sort of announcement, making it free is exactly
very
what they're doing. Now, another side of that is, well, we just kind of want to get the game out there. They could have just struck a deal with Sony, and
that's the thing. Sony,
they get.
I don't know if it works how Sony gives them X amount of money right away, or for every copy downloaded, Sony pays them. I don't know which way it works.
Because PS Plus is not free, am I correct? I don't.
Yeah, you pay a few bucks a month, but I know Sony's paying for these games.
How much is a few bucks, Matt?
I'd say $5 a month.
I think it's comparable to Xbox
I do.
Live.
Suck my balls.
Just wanted to make sure.
Now, my thoughts on this are kind of the same thing with the Fallout website. Timing. All right? This timing is impeccable, Bethesda. April, you're giving away a free Dishonored game, and in June, early June, is your E3 conference, the B3 conference. The fuck? The
B3 conference.
Oh, no. It's been coined. B3.
No, that's what they're calling it. But I'm just saying, this timing, man, it's making me scratch my head a little bit at why.
My balls.
Oh, God.
It's a free PS Plus game, regardless. You should play it if you haven't. But I don't know. Just very possible this could be preparing people for this Dishonored 2 reveal, getting some hype going, getting some excitement, some talk about the game. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, third and final piece of news this week. The Evil Within's DLC, The Assignment, has dropped. Reviews are out. We're going to discuss people's thoughts on this because we're just pricks. Okay. So what I've read about the Evil Within DLC, and it's really, to me personally, as a big fan of the Evil Within, it was quite unappealing. What it does is it ditches the gunplay, and focuses on stealth, and this is the one part that doesn't bother me. It also focuses on story. You can like yell at enemies or toss bottles to like get around them, you know, make the noise and then move around them, kind of like in The Last of Us, Outlast, or Amnesia. It's very similar to that, where you're completely defenseless. Now, I have my thoughts written down here just very briefly, so I'll just get them out of the way. I understand changes to the game in DLC because it's almost like a good comparison I heard, I think it was at PAX East, is that DLC is like a second date where like, you know, you take it completely serious that second time out, or that first time out, I mean, and that second time out, you're a little more loose with it. You're willing to try a few things. And so like I looked at like Burial at Sea's DLC for Bioshock Infinite and how
I was about to mention that.
It became a very stealth focused game. And you know, it was very different. It was focused on the crossbow, changing ammo types. It was really good in my opinion.
Definitely.
But I feel like dropping what made the Evil Within entirely unique, you know, that survival gameplay, to go for a more Outlast feel, or Amnesia, whatever you could relate best to, is just being defenseless. I just find that kind of baffling.
I'd say probably both of those games you get that feeling in.
Yeah. So I don't get why Tango Gameworks decided to make people wait. Let's see. The game dropped in October and the DLC came out in March. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 months later, and they make people wait for literally to do nothing except creep around.
Well, I mean, they're taking risks, and I respect that. One of the things is, though, with the Evil Within. Now I know you, for the most part, enjoyed it, Matt.
Loved it.
A lot of people had issues with it, though. You know, some people said it was marketed weird. You know, it was like it said it was a scary game, whereas more it was just.
I can understand. Yeah,
it was kind of more of an action game than anything. You know,
it was intense. It wasn't scary.
Yeah, you know, and again, that doesn't mean the game is bad. It just means it was marketed differently. You know, I personally never played it, so I don't want to talk too much on this because otherwise people in the comments will murder me as they usually do. Which I'm okay
Most people
with,
think Bethesda published games are pieces of shit, and if it doesn't come from Bethesda Game Studios, then you know it's obviously not good, right?
No, but I don't know. Lone?
My opinion is that I don't mind when a game likes to deviate from the main type of gameplay in its DLC. And as you brought up, Matt, the best example that I can think of is Bioshock Infinite. I liked being able to sneak around because it was different just to running and gunning and shooting. It's a new and fresh experience, and I think maybe why some people are a bit upset because they're not just getting more Evil Within, but if they actually sit down and embrace the change, they might find something they like.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I feel like the issue is that there hasn't been a really good survival quote horror game in a very long time, and Evil Within was the first one in a long while. Even if you didn't like the story, how it was marketed, whatever, its gameplay was fucking great. So I don't get why, if you had something unique, why would you change that so quickly? You know, maybe come around one more time for this. Apparently the DLC is about like 3 hours long. Come around one more time with this kind of a focused gameplay on this survival horror technique and stuff. And then maybe the second episode or the third episode, when you're playing as the Keeper, it's more of a creeping around, being cautious type of take to it. I felt that would have been a little smarter, especially because in the Evil Thing, you play in the Assignment DLC, you play as Julie Kidman, and in this actual Evil Thing game, whenever you meet up with her, because you know the assignment is telling the story of what she's doing. Anytime you meet up with her, like you don't know what the hell's going on with her. Anytime you do meet up with her, though, she has a gun. She is shooting at people. What I don't get is how she's losing this gun every time you end up, you end up playing as her in this DLC. I don't get how that happens either. I mean, I guess you gotta play. Yeah, I mean, I guess you gotta play it to find out. But
I'm sorry, I would talk more, like, because I know I talk a lot. Usually, I didn't play this game. So
you talk a lot, Noah. I never would have known.
Occasionally, I don't know. I think I'm a pretty quiet person.
Well, whatever. My thoughts and Noah and Moan's very brief thoughts on the Assignment DLC's reviews. More so my rant.
Matt, that piece of news fucking sucked. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Suck on my balls. Let's move on to something a little more interesting. The Fallout and Elder Scrolls Spotlight. Every week, God, I am sucking this podcast. Every week we focus on one thing that we really embraced in Fallout or Elder Scrolls. Who would like to go first?
I know, Noah, you were struggling with this. Have you thought of something yet?
Oh, I thought you were saying you go first.
I can go first. No, I can go first. All right.
Why don't you go first? Yeah.
I will. All right. I remember when I started playing Fallout 1, or the original Fallout, whatever you want to call it. And I remember reading, like, you know, when I approach RPG games, when you have to, you know, allocate skill points, I have no idea what I'm doing usually. So I'll go on the internet, I'll research where are the best places to allocate skills or points, which are the best skills to get. And comprehensively, people were saying, oh, don't get the gambling skill. It's useless. It's pointless. And I'm like, well, I want more money. So I put a lot of emphasis into the gambling. And once I reached this stage, I can't remember where it was, but it was a casino. I just kept winning money. And I was literally raining in money, and then I could use it to buy all this shit. I don't know who disagrees with me in the comment section below, or even Matty, because have you played it at all? Or
very briefly, but no, not even close to that far. I didn't even know it was a fucking gambling skill. Like, that's how much I played a Fallout 1.
No, it's awesome.
Crucify me now.
Not a true Fallout fan. No, but No, it was just a really cool thing to know. Like, I know New Vegas pushed gambling a little bit more, but in Fallout 4, let's go back to Fallout 4. I would like to see a bit more of an emphasis on gambling, because it was just a fun thing. I walked up into a casino, and suddenly I was just like a millionaire. It was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, not base it off the luck skill, because the luck skill sucks. I fucking hate luck.
We could have a whole podcast based on how much I hate luck. I think it's so stupid.
I'd say that podcast will be pretty lucky. Anyways, I think I'll go.
You'll see yourself out, Noah.
I actually just I do have an experience, and it's the mission in Fallout New Vegas. I can't remember the name of it. It's like
Unreal
Stars or something like that. And it's the one where you're at the rocket factory, you know, and you launch the rocket. You also get the space
spacesuit. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they like launch like it's a bunch of ghouls, right? And and you launch the rocket with them in it.
And you can watch it if you actually go on my
and they like play this music.
That's right.
I have a perfectly timed screenshot of that rocket taking off when I played that mission. Now I played that mission on console, but I also played it on PC. And again, if you look at it, it's just, I remember that. I remember how fucking that's one of my favorite quests in any
yeah, it was really cool, because I'm pretty sure like they just crashed that rocket and die or something like that. It's such like and what's funny as hell about that quest is you put so much effort into it, and they all just die in the end.
What was the whole premise of them leaving? Like, I can't remember. Did they think there was like another home there or a place they could live?
Yeah, I think they said like they were going home or something because they believed in some religion. I think. Oh man, I played that quest like when I first started my PC playthrough on New Vegas, and I just can't remember what the name of it or where it was for the life of me. But it was an okay quest because like it was so much backtracking and stuff. It was about like RepCon and stuff. So I remember you had to go. Someone had like a radiation suit on the ground near RepCon that you had to go, something like that. That was a really good quest, though. I forgot all about that. I thought at first you were talking about the Lonesome Road DLC, where like you like drop that big ass bomb on like the entire city.
Oh yeah,
love that DLC.
That is a cool one.
That was so good, and like that part was kind of similar to me, as even though it took away the choice, but it was kind of like the Megaton bombing, where you just destroy like everything with a single missile.
Tenpenny, yeah.
But anyways. My turn to highlight something. I'm going to be highlighting something from Fallout 3. So,
good, man.
I stumbled upon Huber's Comics. I was walking around the wasteland, and I found this sewer grate, and I just walked through it, and I ended up inside this comics place. And I went up to this terminal, and I just hit activate on it. And I found this interesting because it was almost like this is like a test for like a noob programmer to see if he can make like his own metagame. So the inside this terminal is like this comic meta game where you play as, I think it's Gragnok the Barbarian. And it's almost like this choose your own adventure book.
That's so cool.
Inside this terminal. So it's like, okay, go north. And then you look around and then you see like something you can interact with. And it like gets deeper and deeper. And I found myself.
So cool.
Yeah. I found myself sitting there for like 20 minutes going through this whole entire adventure. I'm like, wow, this is actually really crazy. But like, I found it interesting because like I said, this is probably like something on someone's portfolio that they just tossed in the game or something like that.
Yeah.
I just thought that was such a cool little thing that they had their own choose your adventure style game inside the game itself. I love metagames personally. I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're a little
How did I
tacky,
not
but
know about this. This is one of those examples where you can play Fallout 100 fucking times and you'll always find something new.
Yeah.
It's a good and a bad thing.
I didn't know about that either. Like, I just thought it was a terminal and it was going to just give me some information. I clicked on it and it was like telling me all about this story that's getting set up. And I'm like, oh, it's just telling me about this comic factory or something. And all of a sudden it's like, says go north, go south, go east, go west. And like, you can go in each of these directions, speak with characters in this quote universe. And it's really interesting in that way. I was actually really surprised. If you are listening to this podcast right now, I highly recommend
Fallout.
Yeah, while playing Fallout, go look for Hubris Comics and go check it out. It's actually really cool.
A lot of people were saying that they listen to this podcast while playing Fallout. I think that's so cool.
That's what someone should do. If you sit here and stare at your screen the entire time, I mean, that's fine.
You're probably going to get bored.
But yeah, you're probably going to get bored. Do something. Do your homework or something.
Someone create a mod. Create a mod where we're a radio station and our podcast is just playing throughout the wasteland. That would be fucking sick.
Oh, yeah. And update it every week. We will give you the file. We would do that.
We will give you the file.
Fuck yes.
You then have to uninstall and reinstall. Well, I guess not. Maybe, I don't know. We'll you know what? We'll talk to Chris, our guest.
Yes.
And see if he'll put something together. No, we won't really. But anyways.
Good idea.
He's coming up soon, though. We got one more segment before we got the Q&A with Chris, project lead of Vault Lone Star. Good try at segueing, Noah. But
wait, did we already mention him?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought I spoiled the surprise. I was like, oh god damn it,
fucking Noah.
Anyways, our fourth and technically final segment for this part of the recording is what we're playing, or we added a little change to this week's segment, or really any week now, is that we're also going to include our favorite gaming news bit, because sometimes we're not playing something new. Sometimes we want to discuss something a bit different from what we're playing. And so we want to go ahead and add this in also for you guys if you want to hop in and talk about your favorite piece of gaming news. So whoever would like to go first, Noah, you had yours planned out. So go ahead.
So CSGO fans out there, MLG Katowice is going on right now. Fnatic and NIP are in the finals for the game.
Whole different language right now.
And I have absolutely nothing bet on that finals game, but it's going on tomorrow. I'm pretty excited for it. By the time this podcast's up, it probably would have already happened. And hopefully NIP win. Probably going to get hate for that. But also probably people are like, shut up, you idiot. And then, so Lone.
Is it like, hold on, is it like the COD finals where like people stand up and pound their chest after like a clutch kill?
No, there's a little bit more respect. It's not a bunch of 13-year-olds. These are,
I'm the best. I'm the best.
See, the difference is the Counter-Strike is the Swedes are good at. So it's a bunch of Swedish kids sitting there playing Counter. No offense if you're Swedish. You're probably good at Counter-Strike. But so it's a bunch of like Swedish kids. So they're very like kind of to themselves about it, and then it's like if they do something good, they'll like high five each other, but that's it. It won't be like yeah, like
I just
no one's obnoxious about it.
Yeah, I just think anytime I think of like esports, I just think of these Call of Duty players who are so fucking obnoxious. It's annoying to look at. They're like, yeah, dude, I'm an esports all-star, dude. I'm so fucking cool.
Really, I'm just gonna shout out to Alan. Okay, continue. Just
Jesus Christ.
Don't.
Who the fuck is Alan?
I know where you live.
I love it. Anyways.
Oh man, is it my turn? Shit. Okay, so I have a game that I've been playing, which is Wasteland 2. I also have news that I want to talk about, but I'll talk about Wasteland 2 because I'm fucking finally playing some video games, which feels good. Wasteland 2 is a really interesting game. I've played Fallout 1, so I can definitely see where the inspiration is. I haven't played the original Wasteland, but it's one of those games where you can just really sit down and immerse yourself and hours will pass by. And I'm really liking the whole, it's not just like, your character and that's it. You're building this team. Like, I haven't played that much in the grand scheme of things, maybe like 12 hours. But I've just been picking up all of these companions. It's just such a cool game. And yeah, it's a real, if you have played Fallout 1, the original games, you will love Wasteland 2. I'm confident of that.
Well, out of curiosity, when you built your squad, Lone Vault, how'd you build your squad out? Because I named them after like all these funny characters. Like I did like Solid Snake, Butch Deloria, myself,
Butch Deloria.
What? Is that from something?
Butch is from Fallout.
Oh, fuck.
Oh God, you are so gonna get.
Oh, Butch. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, Butch. No, Butch is okay. Butch is the bully in the bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Butch is. Calm down, comments. I misheard you. I'm sorry.
Oh God, dude, I got so nervous for you. I was like, oh fuck.
No, the comments are already. Fuck you, I already know from the CS:GO. But anyways,
like, what'd you name your squad after Lone Ball? Like, I built out all these characters and just really fucked around with it. Kind of had some fun with it. I want to know if you did anything interesting or did you kind of keep it serious?
Kind of serious. Shut up. They're inspired from Fallout, not just Fallout characters, but Fallout things or places. So there's one character which is called Black Hawk after the unique pistol. There's one character called MedX, and which is my nurse or whatever. And one character. What was the other one? Fuck. No, I posted this on Twitter. I gotta fucking check this now. Hold up, guys. I'm gonna find it. Internet, don't fail me. Willow is my fourth character. There you go. Okay. So all inspired from Fallout.
Sarsaparilla.
Oh God.
Can I just say, Sunset Sarsaparilla will never be as charming as Nuka-Cola, and they should just quit with the concept of it forever.
Yep.
Oh,
It's fitting for where the game takes place, but it's Nuka-Cola is just the best.
I'm sorry, Rip.
Vault, you said that you had also a piece of news.
Yeah, my piece of news, I don't know if people hate Call of Duty here, but I want to mention it because I did this on my channel. There is a petition going around, started by an Australian gamer nonetheless, and they want a remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm completely against the idea.
I'm so happy you brought this up, Lone, because I watched this video of yours. and HD remakes are cool and all, but they need to I agree with you, Lone, in that they are unoriginal and just kind of need to.
Well, first of all, it makes no sense. Why would you remaster Modern Warfare 2? Wouldn't you remaster the original Modern Warfare game? Doesn't that make sense?
I need to get angry for a second. I need to get really fucking pissed. Okay, here's the issue with this. Because everyone's like, oh, MW2 is so balanced. It has great gunplay, great
bullshit.
I remember getting fucking spawn trapped, Harrier strikes, fucking AC-130, bullshit. YouTube, Danger Close, one-man army. Fuck that game. Don't HD remaster it. These COD fanboys are fucking dumb as bricks. Honestly, they are.
Oh my God, man.
They don't know what the fuck they want. They don't realize that Advanced Warfare fucking sucks balls and that they need to move on, that this series is dead. If you want to remaster an old game, remaster World at War.
No, that's a good point. No. If I will take a remaster of World at War over most games nowadays, but I will say this about Modern Warfare 2. Everybody, I think, loves it because it's a nostalgic thing. Oh, Modern Warfare 2, those were the days. But you go back, and I've done this, you go back and play, yes, you find games really fast. That's one thing that I will say. The connections are great. But all I keep fucking bitching about is fucking noob tubing. I completely despise it. I completely despise, what's it called, when people fucking, tactical inserts and they'll keep killing each other. What's that called again? I fucking can't remember. Anyway. And then what was the third thing that I really fucking hated? I don't know, but there are certain things, like when you die a bunch of times and then you get increased health. Like you fucking suck at the game and you're being rewarded for it. Painkiller, thank you.
Yeah, that's in general were terrible, but.
Oh, and Last Stand. Fucking, what's the point of Last Stand? Seriously, you suck and you can kill me again. I hate it.
It's like, I will say MW2 does hold a special place in my heart because it was my first Call of Duty.
Of course,
it broke it popped the COD cherry. Yeah,
COD cherry.
I did go back and play a lot of COD 4 and a lot of World at War. Matt can.
Yeah, so did I. But like
that, but. It was fun when it lasted. It was fun to experience when it was new and fresh, but now it's kind of done.
But like people are saying on this petition, oh, Infinity Ward just needs to make a few tweaks to make this game work. Like, no, there were so many things that were fucking broken from the spawns, just like every Call of Duty, from the spawns to the guns to the perks. There was so much broken shit in that game. Yeah. It was annoying. Like they're getting held down by nostalgia. Seriously, if you're one of those people who signed this petition, I beg you right now, play that game for 3 hours straight and tell me what you think afterwards. And you'll probably want to unsign that petition. That number will cut in half.
Yeah. From
150,000 to like whatever half of that is, because I can't do math right now.
I didn't realize Matty was going to get so heated about this topic.
I do it more so because people think it's hilarious, but seriously, like that was actual genuine anger as I progressed. I was like, wait, hold on, I'm actually mad now.
No, wait, trust me, I understand frustrations in Modern Warfare 2, which is why at the time I was so keen to move to Black Ops. And then we started playing later later Call of Duty games. Everyone's like, Modern Warfare 2 is the best, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're kidding, right? That was so fucking frustrating, that game. Now everything is more balanced, but now it's just dried out. It's not innovative at all. So I'm kind of done with Call of Duty until zombies.
Let me handle one piece of criticism I'll get. Matty, you hate Modern Warfare 2 probably because you sucked. I did not suck at that game at all.
He was a retarded MLG player.
I was very good at Call of Duty when I played that game nonstop, like every 13-year-old did, naturally.
Yeah.
What?
Naturally.
What? Do you want to handle that?
Yeah.
I'm going to get heated again, man, because this game that I've been playing this week, we'll move on to my part of this, is Hotline Miami 2. Okay.
All right,
it's banned in Australia. The game's fucking banned here. I can't even play it. Fucking bullshit.
You're not missing out, bro.
Why was it banned again? I forget the reasoning.
I'm gonna fucking search it, Matty.
I think it was just gore. It was like extreme gore.
I mean, it's a very brutal game.
Oh yeah, but so was Hotline Miami 1. Now, Matt, I already know what you're gonna say about Hotline 2, but I'm gonna let you say it. I'm gonna let you finish. But
I'm gonna let you finish.
But Beyonce should have
all right.
best music video.
Okay. So I really liked Hotline Miami 1 because I felt what was special about that game was its story was really trippy. I'm not trying to sound like a 70s former pothead when I say that, but it was really trippy in that cool way.
You do the ganj?
I like the gameplay because it was like not only was it really difficult, but it was like puzzle oriented where it was like, okay, through trial and error, I'm going to find out how to gradually clear out this whole level and move up a floor. I really like that. Now, what Hotline Miami had to do was they kind of got backed themselves into a corner when they announced a sequel, because naturally with a sequel people expect innovation and bigger is better. That's kind of the forethought I feel for most gamers when it comes to a sequel. And so naturally into Hotline Miami 2, the levels are huge, which is for the most part okay. But what happens is that you'll get killed off screen a ton of times. Infuriating amounts where you'll finally solve this one part of the room. You're like, all right, I'm going to kill this guy. And it's going to be all twitch reflex. You're going to be on a roll. You're going to feel really good about yourself. You're going to progress a little bit. You know, you can pinch and zoom the screen to really see like who's around each corner. But sometimes the screen doesn't move far enough. So you still can't see who's out there. And so you'll move up and you'll just get shot by someone through glass all the way on the other end of the level. And you can't do much about it because you can't see that. So that really bothers me. And because the levels are bigger, you have to redo all these segments over again because the levels are so big. And it leads to this increased frustration that just really kind of gets to me. I'd say hating it is an overstatement. Okay. I said that on my Twitter kind of just as a joke, but it's just flawed. It's flawed. I mean, its story is complex. It's and in the bad way. It's not like one of those, oh, I'm slowly understanding it, slowly unraveling in like right in front of me. I'm starting to get it. It's just one of those things where it just mind fucks you for no reason. It doesn't make sense. It's like, just stop. So my question is that when the gameplay really isn't even that good, the story really isn't propelling me forward, why do I have any reason to want to play this? And I think it's just because of the increased challenge. I like playing it. It's a good Vita game. Judge me. It's a good Vita game.
I didn't actually even know it was on Vita.
Neither did I.
It's a good like pick up and play game.
Was that like the 6th game for Vita?
JK, bitch. There's more games than the Vita than the other system this year.
You're talking about American
on my shaft. Anyways, what the great thing about Hotline Miami 2, I have to say though, is that it's very good for a pick up and play where like I could kill an hour playing this game. That's what I love about it. But it's flawed and it has to try to innovate, and it just didn't work out. And that's what kind of pisses me off because they should have really just, if it's not broken, don't fix it. They should have just stuck with how the first game went. They really should have. Expand a little bit. They also got rid of, I think like in the first game, like you could cycle through all these masks and everything and they give you like these different perks and they kind of got rid of that.
That's not in Hotline Miami 2?
They have, okay, well the thing is in Hotline Miami 2, you play as all these different characters. It's not always the same group of people. And you play as these like sometimes you play as these what's the word for them? Like this mob of people who wear masks, and then you can change your mask based off who you want to play as. Some players can dual wield, some players can roll under bullets, which is really useless because you have to press X and you have to have superb timing. But it's like that. It's not as good customization and replayability as Hotline Miami. The other thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is that they really promoted the crap out of this level editor, and it's only in the alpha stage on the PC. It's not even on the PlayStation in general. I'm not just talking about the Vita.
The game should be played on the PC to begin with, but
yeah, I can understand that. But it's not even on the PS4, which kind of I could see bothers a few people. PS3 as well, I think. But
again, though, the game started out as a PC game, and it's really I'm just remembering the controls for the game. It's best on a PC. Just the flip.
It converted well to console. The triggers, the shoot, you move around with the left stick
and I'm
the
sure
right stick.
It didn't, but
it's a solid game, but it's not. I think what bothers me is when I see these games getting these 9 out of 10 so easy when it's flawed. And I'm not saying that every game that gets a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, or actually if it gets a 10 out of 10, it should be perfect. But if it gets a 9 out of 10, I'm not expecting pure perfection. But when there's things that are clear flaws that will, without a doubt, infuriate a good portion of gamers, I don't see why it's so easy to hand out like a 9 when this game probably 7. That's not a bad score. 7's not a bad score.
It's a fun game. Fun.
That means it's a good game. It's got some flaws, but if you're a fan of the series, you're going to like this game a lot. If you're not a fan of the series, your first time, you'll still enjoy it briefly, but it's not going to be anything that's going to stick with you for your entire life. So, rant done.
I'd say if you've never played Hotline Miami before, play the first one.
Yes.
If you beat the first one and liked it a lot, then get the second one.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, probably steer clear and just kind of meh.
Yeah.
I'd love to play the game.
I'm sure you would.
But here's one thing though. The soundtrack is beautiful. It's so sick. There are so many times I just found myself like nodding my head and like really getting into the flow of the game. Like one cool thing they added was a combo meter, which encourages you to like risk it all and just like run out there and try to rack up as many kills in a row while you're listening to this sick music. That part's really cool. But I don't know, that's all I can really praise the game about is it's like its flow, its music, and sometimes because later in the game the levels get a little better designed and they don't become as frustrating because I feel like the game realized its mistakes, because if you're one of those people like me who's been playing through this game, when you get into the later stage of the game, it condenses itself, it gets smaller, it closes in, and I feel like it starts to realize, shit, these levels are too big, we need to change it up. And sometimes it's not even logical. Like, for example, this doesn't spoil anything. Like one time you're in a power plant, and I mean, this place is ginormous, and like, it just makes no sense based off the scale of the level design. Like, there's just a bunch of rooms. There's just a bunch of set of rooms, and on the left side's like these power plants, but it's just like, it's kind of confusing. Like, it's like the level design doesn't make sense. It's like they made it bigger just for the sake of saying, oh, it's the sequel, it's bigger.
Yeah.
No,
you make a lot of good points.
Oh, I do. So you're not going to argue?
I'm not going to argue with you. I thought you were going to give the game shit for the wrong reasons, but you make good you make good point.
You make good point, Matty.
What I'm trying to move on to now, I'm not fully done with Hotline Miami 2. I'm pretty close to the end. I'd say I'm on the 21st scene. It's much longer. That's also a good thing about it. It's much longer, which is cool, because first Hotline Miami I think was like 2-3 hours. Borderline 5 actually, now that I think about it. And this one's like apparently up to 9 hours. But what I'm trying to move on to now is Ori and the Blind Forest, which I played about an hour today as we record this. That game just warms my heart and also depresses me, dude. Like you play
cool.
I almost cried in the first 10 minutes, and I don't cry.
Oh,
I love it. I want to play it.
And the little character you play is Ori. It's like one of those things you want to pick up and just hold. Like, I love it so much.
Like a little like bear thing, right? Like a little animal.
Well, that's Naru, I think his name or her name is, and like that's kind of like the mom of Ori in a way. It's really interesting. It's on PC and it's only I think $20, and I'm sure it'll be a discount game by the summer. Like $15-10 at that point when it comes to sales. Really play that game. You can already tell by like how it is in this first hour and whatnot. It's really good.
I don't know anything about the game, but I'm just gonna say this. I feel like a main character dies within the first couple of seconds of the game, and it's just you
Let's not
but
spoil it.
I don't know anything. I've never played the game before. I'm just guessing that.
Well, if a game can get Matty to calm down from talking about Modern Warfare 2 and Hotline Miami and say, I cried in the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to lie, then it must be pretty good.
Hey man, I cried at the end of the first season of The Walking Dead. Or no, I didn't cry. I almost did though. I was like,
I didn't say I cry. Games yet to make me cry. I'm sure.
Hey, no, I got teary at the end of fucking Brothers. I'll admit that.
I came.
I heard it
close,
was really good though.
Yeah,
you haven't played Brothers yet.
No, but I heard it was really good.
Got the gifted for you on Steam right now. Holy shit!
Happily take it. But
I'll do that.
what's it called?
It's only like $2 on sale. What the fuck are you doing?
Buy the game.
It was on sale. Relax. Is it really?
Not now.
Yeah, and you can sit down for one session and finish it in 3 hours. It's that
I
good.
hear him typing.
Oh,
right now.
yeah, it's $15. Okay. Why is a controller to play? That's interesting.
Yeah, trust me, I recommend the controller. You need,
Anyways, those
what
are
were we moving
our
on?
segments that we can record right now. Now we're going to move into the fan question segment, I guess you can call it, but really it's a Q&A with the project lead of Fallout Lone Star. It's really good. Chris Means is an awesome guy, I'll just say in advance, and he's one hell of a talkative guy too. I loved it.
You know what? He knows how to answer a question.
He really does. He really gave us good answers. Wow, I don't know where I was rolling with that.
I don't know.
He gave us good answers. No shit, Matt.
But no, please, if you know, this is gonna be our longest podcast, probably closer to 2 hours. But you know, definitely watch that Q&A. It is
very interesting.
One of the better ones we've done.
Yeah, if you're into game development, you're definitely going to want to listen. Obviously, if you're into Fallout, you should listen to it, and modding as well. The guy knows a lot. It's a really interesting story behind the mod. It's actually pretty, in a way, inspirational, which is pretty cool. He's also a great guy. Has some good answers. So hope you guys enjoyed that part of the segment. And, one thing I want to cover real quickly, even though we already said it, I just want to remind you guys, Lone Vault won't be in part of that segment for about half of it, because he was just joining the call, just waking up. So we just want to remind you guys of that in case you wonder where he disappeared to.
I was sleeping. I was no.
Damn it, Lone Vault.
Fucking Lone Vault. Why do you sleep at 5 a.m.? God damn it.
So thank Lone Vault for his wonderful dedication for getting up at 6 a.m. to join us at that point.
Right. You're welcome.
Be sure to check out Fallout Lone Star, as you'll definitely do so after listening to the Q&A. And we hope you guys enjoy.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Out.